oh, I'm going to protect you with my life. I'm going to love you no matter what, and I'll love you for the rest of my life. Well, that's true, okay? For the most part, good parents love their children. But what about when the puppy comes along, or a kitten, or a hamster, or whatever pet of choice you have in your home? There is a new study out, and at the surface, it sounds right. But as you dig deeper, I'm not so sure. 55% of Americans who have children and pets say that they now equally love their pet as much as they do their child. Their pet is just as important in the family as a child. So you've got your human children and you've got your fur babies or your whatever you want to call them. I have one child and I have one dog. And I love them both.
Yeah,
I adore them. And I hope I never would have to make the choice. But I'm going to spout off a very unpopular opinion, apparently, and say, if I had to make a choice, if I had to, it would be my human daughter.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
It would be my daughter.
I thought you were
my human daughter. And I'm not taking anything away from those of you that have pets and they are your children. I mean, I understand that. I'm talking about when you have both. I feel like, for me, I'm no hate, but I would choose my daughter Olivia as much as I adore Peppa. And I adore Peppa like I've adored no other pet. She is by far the favorite pet I've ever had in my life. But Liv is my human daughter.
If you had to run into a burning home and could only bring out one, it would be Liv.
And I would be heartbroken. And again, don't ever want to make that choice.
Right.
But that's all I'm saying. Are they really saying they are? And if they are, that's fine too. Just for me, I can't. I still have that in the back of my head. You have 2 and 2, right?
Yeah, we have both. And I agree with you when you kind of put it like that. And you're like, well, of course you'd pick the children, over the dogs. However, I know for a fact my wife would probably pick the dogs over me. I know that's not necessarily the question.
Well, that's entirely different.
That's why they're not talking about that here, Greg.
Kids are different.
That's a horse of a different color.
A whole different study, and I think we know how that one's going to go.
Oh, I think we do.
I have an antibiotic that can save the dog or save my husband.
Honey, we've had a good run. Yeah. Look at it this way. You don't have to buy me another anniversary present.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. No, that's funny, and that could go both ways. Yeah, but so, I mean, what do you think?
In terms of poor little Harriet, who our dog we had to put down not too long ago. There was a minute there where we were spending more effort and time and money on medicine and vet appointments and stuff on her than my kids.
But that's because your kids weren't as sick, I'm going to guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to is if you put yourself in that, burning house situation.
Yeah.
I think that poll would come out differently. And I think people don't really put themselves in that situation when they answer a poll question like that.
Right.
Is your dog or your cat sick? You'll pull out all the stops. And that's great. But I think if it really came down to brass tacks, the kid, I think your human child, would take precedence.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're in the situation you mentioned earlier where your pets are your children.
Yes.
Of
My
course.
daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter, her cats are her kids.
Right. Yeah, and not taking anything away from that. Yeah. And not taking away from the fact that, when you say they're family, of course they're family.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Peppa knows exactly when dinner time is. Sure. She's there with us. I make her something for dinner. I treat her like she is the fourth member of our family. But I also still know there is a distinction there. I just hope I never have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the good part. Most of us don't have to make any decision like that. So it's easy to say.
And also probably never tell Peppa.
Well, no.
That would crush her.
I hope she's not listening.
Oh my gosh, don't even. But I do think this is true. Even just, I'm judging for myself. Don't you think our pets have become, think about when you were growing up. Have our pets become a bigger deal?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people, like you said, Greg, people will pour more loving care and expense into taking care of their pets than they did when we were kids.
I would say that the billion-dollar industry that is pets and all the accessories that go along with them would probably speak to that as well.
Right.
I can only imagine my father's reaction to a suggestion that he take the dog to the dog wash.
Yeah. I was just thinking something like that, too.
It would pretty much render him speechless.
Right.
Yeah. But, people, like you said, people for whom these are their kids or they're important. I mean, I've spent hundreds of dollars trying to get a cat to stop throwing up.
Yeah.
And,
And I know dogs that have stayed at nicer hotels than I have.
They're bragging about it?
Sunny 95, Kemba Financial Credit Union, time saver traffic.
down on the south side, westbound 104 Frank Road, as you approach I-71, watch for an accident there. It's blocking the right lane and slowing things down. That's time saver traffic on Sunny 95.
Kemba doesn't need Wi-Fi.
If you want to comment on this, the idea that 55% of Americans say that their pets are they are equally as important to them as their human children. Thoughts on that? 614-459-WSNY. That number, you can call us on it. You can also text us.
Text us your comment.
You guys are awesome!
614-459-9769.